All right, welcome back, everyone. So we're going to do a little reflection here. Then we are in three different breakout rooms learning about different tools. I think we have about 8, 9 tools that we're learning about today, all with that idea of gathering information, data as to change instructional practices in your classroom for my responsibility. So here's our reflection question. Then you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. You can come off of mute and we'll go through them. So how will you begin to routinely reflect on results of a lesson and analyze the effectiveness of instructional practice in order to determine next steps? What did you accomplish in your workshop time today? All right, so we have several answers coming in. Feel free to keep writing your response in there or come off of mute. So would like to digging deeper into Schoology assessments and how they can be used for checks for understanding, adding standards to individual things so that then you can see progress in the mastery tracker. The mastery tracker, if you weren't in that breakout room, is definitely worth your time. It's a really cool feature. Not that hard to get to know, but it gives you really great information. And then Alicia points out the student grading groups and how you can use that for students with accommodations. How you can do that. That's a great tool for students with different needs in your classroom. Again, saying mastery and Schoology and student grading groups. Those grading groups are just awesome, and how you can individually assign. I knew a science teacher that would have upwards of 4 or 5 versions of her assessments for each student, translating into different languages, adding in different accommodations. She was a wonder, and her grade book was like massive because she had so many different versions all the time, which was great. So lots of Schoology use. Going through it all. So uh, tracking student progress using Mastery Tracker and linking it to the SLO. Again, SLO with the Mastery Tracker is absolutely phenomenal. It means that you don't have to create someplace else to be tracking that. You don't have to have a Google Sheet or a stack of papers or something like that. It's really great, especially starting that in the new year for your data, or just continuing on with this. Again, more Schoology, lots of Schoology today. I love it for differentiation and grading groups again. Yeah, and more accommodations. So I appreciate all the feedback. Everybody's been super interactive this morning, so I really am glad to have you all here and being able to hear from you all. Thank you again for your patience with our team today, as we've had team members out and different things going on with our team, just as our whole country and our whole state's going through some challenging times right now. So I appreciate all of that. In just a minute here, we're going to have Tess Vigil join us from the CRE team. And she has some information about some new tools and some new resources that they have from CRE. So we're going to hear from her in just a minute. Does anybody have any other questions or comments going in? I saw a hand was raised earlier. Oops, that's me. Coaches, was there anything that came up in your breakouts that you would want to highlight for everybody while we wait on Tess? Yeah, Kaylee?
We had a great session on using the Mastery Tracker in Schoology to just track student progress. And I believe it was Andrew, someone correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew is on a math team where they're going to create a group in Schoology and share custom learning objectives across different classrooms. So didn't even talk about groups and sharing different standards, but the conversation went there, and I think that's an amazing application of this tool.
I'll add that in our breakout session, Chris shared about how he uses Schoology assessments for just about everything in his classroom, which was a really novel idea to me. Is that his digital coach last year really helped him just get a lot of things transferred over to using that, and then the students are just really used to that. And so he was a big advocate for assessments and all the different tools that you can do and how the assessment can do just so many different things. Was really great to hear. And then Santa was connecting to that too, so they were going to try to connect as to how to do that. Yeah. Assessments for everything. It's great. Assessments.
I was just going to add.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to add to that and to say that we have been using data to guide our planning. At my school, Prep Academy, we co-teach. So we have been using data to personalize students' learning in our classrooms. We currently co-teach. And then we are currently collaborating using geography and English to co-teach. So we use that information to personalize students' learning. And we have started using a system where we have different stations. So students are doing different things at different stations where we're at now. So we'll be using the data to guide the whole learning process and personalize students' learning.
Awesome. Again, I really appreciate everybody's collaboration and interactivity this morning. I know it's hard at 8 a.m. after a break, but I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of reminders real quick while we're waiting for Tess. So I'm going to pull this up here real quick. Okay, so for PDU participants, remember that we have a reflection in Schoology off of this module. So if you just go in there and do your reflection question, so that is in your PDU course, and that you need to have 3 deep dives. I'm sure that your digital coach has reached out to you on that. Just know that we need to have those deep dives done by April. So if you are on your first one, that's great. Or if you're going to start yours, the month of January is really great as we have like we're fresh coming off of break to get those deep dives going. And then in the next slide, I'm going to show you how to do the sign-in form for this so that you make sure that you get credit for that. And then just highlight that February 22nd is our next module. So this one we've waited almost 4 months for between module 3 and 4, and then the next one is just about a month and a half away. So I'm going to drop that that reflection in there, but welcome to Tess. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. Luke, am I up? Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Wonderful. So my name is Tess Vigil, and I work on the Culturally Responsive Education team in our central office, and I'm here to give you an update on an ongoing project that we're working on and here to ask your help. So you know that the Culturally Responsive Education mindsets were launched in the years 2017 to 2018. And alongside those research-based mindsets, we actually have some key actions and practices. And you may years ago have seen a key actions and practices document. We actually have updated the formatting on the document, but it's not brand new. It's still research-based and it's still tied completely to our mindset. Now, what we're looking for is, because you all have eyes on the ground in lots of different schools, we're looking for examples of these key actions and practices in DPS in order to create some sort of resource bank where we have either a video or a picture or a teacher talking about how they've done this. So an ideal thing would be we are able to have a picture and a short video of a key action happening in a DPS school. And then the teacher is explaining maybe in a short little clip. So we're talking maybe 2 total minutes of a feature that we could then share with other teachers when they say, hey, I'm new to teaching, I'm not sure what this would look like, or hey, culturally responsive education, I'm still having a hard time with some of these ideas. So that is an ongoing project. No real deadlines or anything as far as next steps, but I wanted to introduce myself. And then Tess Hill is my net or .org is my email. And if you get an email from me in the future, then you'll be able to put a face to a name and understand, hey, that's that woman in CRE. We have a very small team here at the central office, but we are committed to elevating the culturally responsive education practices and key actions that are happening in our DPS classrooms. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear. Otherwise, that's my short pitch. And thanks for letting me hop in here.
All right. Thank you, Tess.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Yeah, keep up the good work. Take care. Bye.
Okay, and then here is a direct link to the reflection forum, or you can go into it through our Schoology course. So the Schoology course is our long name of Reimagining Classroom by Integrating Culturally Responsive Technology, PL series. And then you'll see that there is a section for the January Teal Day, or you can just go straight to that form and fill it out. Please give us feedback. We review it every single time, all the feedback that we get. So we appreciate that. And again, thank you to everybody for coming in just after break at 8 a.m. Appreciate you all. And we'll hang around if you have any questions, comments. Otherwise, get that sign in and feedback form done, and we are all set.